Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again with another episode of Draft to Glory Goon Squad. And today, well, the goal is the same as in every other episode. Somehow have a successful season. Really, the goalposts kind of change on how you define a successful season. Get to the draft, do well, and hopefully get some good progression along the way over the calendar year. We're starting off in the preseason, of course, in 2024, and we're hoping by this time next year that we are that much better of a team. Now, I did leave you guys at the end of the last episode asking how you thought I should approach this season. And I took a couple things into account. This, though, is the team that we are going to start off with. We are basically going very heavy on relying on our current prospects. Why? Well, I'll tell you, we're getting very close to the point where we are going to have to stop using guys like Tom Wilson and like Jake Dotchin anyway. We're at that point where we're having this team be filled with our own prospects. The problem right now, though, is that nearly every team is at 50 contracts, and those that aren't, like Columbus, have no cap space whatsoever. So we're pretty much locked into having the team that we have for this season. But in that next offseason, we are going to have to either just start letting these players go, or maybe doing the one-for-one prospect for pick trade that I was talking about. There's a couple of different ways this could go, really. But we're at that point where changes are going to have to start happening, and where we just have to go for it in terms of risking the future of this series, being a bad team, and having players leave over poor locker room chemistry. It's the bed that I made by accidentally leaving a setting on, and by the time we thought, hey, you know what, maybe this would be a good idea to restart, we had made it so far down the line that it would have been really disheartening to restart the series. So this is what we're locked into. Another thing, as I begin the season sim, I did something a lot of you thought I wouldn't do. I actually turned off draft picks, guys. Draft to Glory. There's no more draft picks. Unreal. See, this is what happens when I record after 6-7 hours of streaming, whatever the hell it was. I'm recording this after what should hopefully be up alongside this in terms of today's FHM video. Finally got one of those back up on track. I turned off injuries, as you might have guessed, just to get through this. I might leave them off permanently. I'm not entirely sure, but I finally turned them off. It's not as if we weren't making it through the season all that quickly to begin with, but I feel like really with the amount of changes I'm going to have to make in the upcoming offseason, that now is the best time to just turn injuries off, breeze through the regular season, get to the offseason, make the ungodly amount of changes I'm going to have to make to this team with, factoring in the unsigned players that we currently have, also factoring the 7 other players that we're going to be adding to this team. It's the right time to make this move, as I think we're going to be getting info about the upcoming draft, I would imagine. And it's going to be a good year for rookies, apparently, which is good. I am looking forward to that. As far as our plan for the draft, of course, as always, we're going to try to find some success. I consider a good draft solid picks in 5 out of 7. If you miss on 2 picks, you can still consider it a good draft. If you miss on 3 picks, well, you start to get into that territory of, was it really that good of a draft? So if we can hit on the majority of our picks, the overwhelming majority of our picks, I'll be feeling quite good after this episode. As far as the type of players I'm looking for, which, by the way, we have 6 wins. That's actually shocking. As far as the type of players we're looking for this time out, I would like to get a goaltender. One more goaltender so that we don't have to rely on signing any other free agents. Like this time out, we signed Matt Hackett, and we've had Casimir Kaskisuo before. I'd like to avoid getting those type of players, but we'll see. Obviously, there's no way to really anticipate what the kind of setup will be, we'll go for lack of a better term, with this upcoming draft, whether or not there will be solid goalies. You saw the top couple of players there, as I brought up the draft class one more time, we do have power forwards and defensive D-men projected to be in the first part of the draft, depending on whether or not we get screwed over by the draft lottery again, which, let's be honest, the odds of us getting the number 1 overall pick are incredibly slim, like incredibly slim. I'd like to think as long as we end up with, as long as at least a couple of those players stay in the top 10, we'll be good. I'd prefer to end up with another power forward, I think. If we end up with a defensive D-man, so be it. That one power forward who was projected in the top 5, I think it was Chelios. If he is available for us, I will be over the moon, because I have a feeling that it's going to be a somewhat steep drop-off between him and every other player available to us with that first-round pick. But that remains to be seen. Could be wrong. And as it stands, it's not like we haven't gone into a draft thinking that we're going to miss out on an amazing player, only to end up, in the case of Frederick McDonough, with the best player we have ever drafted. So you never quite know how it's going to go. But at the very least, because of the lack of injuries, we are just able to breeze through the regular season sim in record time, which, like I said, is a good thing for me with the amount of changes I plan on making, although I'm not too happy about this stalling because of the warning about the trade deadline. It's not like the trade deadline factors in for us whatsoever. If this freezes now at this point, I would say, despite a little bit of frustration, I don't think I'd be that pissed. It's only been like 7 minutes. It's all well and good, right? Let's see here. 17 wins on the season. Can we make it 20? I'll be cool with 20 wins. There's 18 over Colorado. We have a lot of games this month, too. Picking up a couple of overtime losses. Pity points help, but not really for what we're looking for. We got our 19th win against the Bruins. We need one more win to hit 20, and I will be content. And there it is. We beat the Edmonton Oilers. 20 wins on the year. That's kind of the number I wanted to hit with this team. I'm thinking anything less would have been a pretty big disappointment. Obviously, we weren't going to, make the playoffs or even be close to playoff contention, especially with the strategy I chose to employ. But 20, 53, and 9 isn't too bad. The Gulls with 28 wins. We know where we stand at this point. It's just how bad is the morale? How badly is the morale going to be affected by the decisions that we are making here in terms of finally moving forward with the prospect option? As Abraham Zanetti, by the way, 33 goals, 33 assists. What a monster. What an absolute monster. I'll take a look here. 64 points for Graves. He's an 85. Nolan Foote's an 88. Jesus, that top line killed it. Absolutely. Anderson McDonald at 37 points. Zach Aronson's an 81. What? He went from a 73 to an 81. That is unreal. Connor Roberts didn't progress, but god damn. I'll let you guys look. 21 points, by the way, for Frederick McDonough. Given that he's a defensive D-man with his attributes, that's fairly solid. If we were to get him on a line with maybe even a Likens moving forward, Hines, oh boy, Stephen Hines is in a bad way, though, guys. I don't know if he's going to recover. He's got 3 years left on his deal. I don't know if he's going to recover. He was our first, really good surprise pick. I just think with his morale, his player type, it's not going to go all that well for us, really. So we'll see. But if we could get McDonough on a power play unit with a defensive D-man that somehow has a 90 offensive awareness or higher, I feel like we'd be in a very good spot and that McDonough would actually put up a decent amount of points. So take a look at the hits. McDonough led in that category, as you'd expect. 99 defensive awareness, shot blocking, stick checking, aggressiveness, and body checking. He's an absolute beast. Also, 133 shot blocks. Fairly solid for this team. And without Jake Dotchin, only 3 fights. Only 3 fights. Did Dotchin play? Oh my god, he had 41 fights down in the AHL and 26 for Dalton Galley. 12 for Josh Chorney. My God, how other teams must have hated playing the San Diego Gulls this season. They were beating the hell out of everybody. I got to admit, if there's one player, the plan, obviously, as I've talked about numerous times, was never for Jake Dotchin to be a member of this franchise. But if there's anybody, if there's anybody who has kind of personified what the Goon Squad's all about throughout the course of this series, it's probably been Jake Dotchin. Him and Dalton Galley have been the two biggest goons on our franchise through these first 7 seasons or so. It's been kind of nice. As I take a quick swig of water there, because, again, recording this after streaming, the voice is a little bit tired, but we're making it through. Because that's what we gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. If there are videos to record, even after streaming, doesn't matter. Get them done. Although, obviously, the uploads for this and other series have taken a tiny bit of a hit because I made those videos about Team Canada. Which, if you haven't watched those, hey, go check them out at the very least. Put some decent amount of work into those. Proud of both of those videos as Detroit wins the Stanley Cup. We'll take a look at their team, the awards, and our player progression before getting to the draft in record time. Absolutely record time, but I got to admit, it's kind of nice. With no injuries, I'm a fan, I think. Six games for the Red Wings to beat the Winnipeg Jets in the Stanley Cup final. All right, let's see what the old cup-winning team looks like. I'm always intrigued to know how well they did. Geno Malkin, that explains it. That explains it. He doesn't slow down. He's an absolute monster. He and Brock Besser working well together. Johansson, Ho-Sang, Tyler Johnson. Yeah, I can see why this team found success. Damn. That's a pretty solid team. On defense, Leddy, Parayko, Larson, McDonough. The worst, the lesser of the two. Ivan Antropov and Ruslan Nabokov, not too bad. Goaltender, only 81 overall, UC Saros. Now, see, if they had like an 88-plus goalie, I'd be like, oh, of course this team won the cup. I'm a little bit surprised. The offense led the way, and they win the cup. The Devils won the Presidents, but it didn't help them out too much. Stamkos wins the Art Ross, as well as the Hart. Bachman in Winnipeg won the Norris. The Lady Byng went to McDavid. Turgeon wins the Calder in Dallas. Malkin the Conn Smythe. Matt Murray wins his second consecutive Vezina there, or wins Vezinas in consecutive seasons. The Jennings to John Gibson. Stephen Johns, the Masterton. Selke goes to McDavid. Stamkos to Ted Lindsay. And I'm going to guess that's Colin White, who won the Rocket Richard. A little bit surprising. Robert Thomas put up the most points. He was also league MVP. Some dude named Beagle put up the most goals. Anybody else that we kind of recognize? Montembeault, Thomas, Dobson, and of course, no awards for any goals. That's kind of my one goal at this point, is just to get some individual hardware for one member of the San Diego Gulls. I'm not sure if that's going to happen anytime soon. We'll take a look at our progression. Brodin up to an 85. My God, what a pickup he was. I think he was a 3rd overall pick. Nolan Foote right now balancing between an 80. He's an 87 legit. Currently an 85. What the hell? Currently? Did I say currently? What the hell? Jay Graves is an 83, currently an 84. Zanetti's an 82, currently an 84. Likens is an 81. 3-point improvement for Aronson, maybe even a 4-point improvement. Just to look at that number. Connor Roberts is up by 3 technically, but not really, or not technically, but currently. It's such a weird system. Hines is down to a 79. Right, Jake Virtanen we don't have to worry about. I'm only going to worry about greens, all right? If someone like Downing is currently showing up as a 78, that's all well and good. I'm only worried about greens. And Rodney Thompson is now a 76. That's it for the NHL. In the AHL, Lang went up by 3, Flynn by 2, 3 for Wharton as an unsigned player, 3 for Leonard Barlow, 3 for Burnett, 3 for Burnett, 3 for Green. The 4-point improvement for Finley. Arnott went up by a point. Maurer goes up by 5, not too bad for him. 3-point improvement for Gustafsson. The 1 for Rourke. 5-point improvement for Reifers, the German. It's pretty solid. What else do we got? 1-point improvement for Rich Rawlings. The 4-point improvement for Maurice Dalmont. 3 for Carter. 5 for Jean Garoux, the enforcer. 2 for Kyle Lettinen. 1 for Lalancette. 4 for Tamara. 6 for Carl Galvis. Damn, that is a lot of that's a lot of progression. Some good, others kind of minor, but for the most part, I am not complaining. It's a decent season for this team. The concern, of course, is Hines, which we've been here before. It is what it is. I can throw all the money in the world at him, though, to make him come back, and of course, I was about to say, now just to get screwed over by the lottery, there we are. 4th pick, the Rangers win the lottery. So yet again, I think our odds of getting who we want probably pretty slim in the form of that power forward. We did not lose anybody to early retirement. Big Reg is still the only guy to leave us there. There's a couple of goaltenders retire, as does Gino. Damn. Just shy of 16. Wow, 699 goals. Just shy of 1,600 points. Really, Gino? You didn't stay for one more? For one more season to hit 700 goals. Heartbreaking. I'd be like Bernie Mac and Mr. 3000. I would just be back every season until I got one more goal. Put me in a wheelchair on the ice and let it bounce off the wheel of the wheelchair. Get me the goal. That's all I'm saying. Let's take a look here at the draft board. It is draft time. Is that power forward still in the top 5? He is. Will he make it that far? Probably not. So, backup options include Lundin, Caldwell, Porter, and Irving. So I think we're going to get somebody good. Regardless, I would prefer for it to be Chelios. I don't think he'll fall that far. Winnick goes number 1 overall, medium elite at 77. It's a tad bit low. Rafalski. Damn, wow, this could actually be a slightly... It said it was going to be a better draft, didn't it? That's a pretty low overall for a 2nd overall pick. Nashville goes... Oh my god, we're going to get the power forward. Are you serious? Well, happy birthday... It's not my birthday, but still, happy birthday to me. What the hell? Winnick, Rafalski, and Letowski. Bit of a bad pick there by Tampa. We're going to get that power forward. Now, I don't think it's going to be a Frederick McDonough situation here, though, guys, but I think we'll get somebody decent. Yes, I'm tempted by the high elite, but I'm just going to go for the guy who's in the top 5, that being Trent Chelios, which is weird because I'm pretty sure we had a Trent Celios not all that long ago in the series. Duncan, we're going to avoid. Lundin, we're going to avoid. I'm going to go with the guarantee. Although, I do have to admit that I wanted to look at goalies. You have Gentile, high starter. He would be pretty nice. Rivers is kind of meh. Fost. Man, Fost could be a steal. I don't know. Hull as well. This might be the right draft to end up with a goalie. It's kind of what I want. We'll see what happens. But we are going with Trent Chelios. All right, good. He's decent. Medium elite, 66 overall. Let's take a look here. Decent puck skills, solid shooting, very well-rounded. Could even play center if we needed him to at a 74 face-off rating. Very well-rounded, someone who will immediately join our lineup, which is nice considering the amount of talent that we're about to get rid of. So that was pretty solid. Let's see who we missed out on, if anybody. Hopefully not. Duncan was medium elite at a 75, but it's not like we would have needed him. Porter was high top 6. Let's see, anybody else? Irving was decent at a 65. Same for Caldwell. He was decent. Chen, also medium elite, but he wouldn't have been available to us. Marchment was there. Byers, a solid pickup for Columbus. You got Waugh, who's kind of meh as far as overall, but good potential. Yeah, we made the right choice. Gentile's medium elite, 62 overall. You got a 65 overall starter. Medium starter. Yasina, medium elite, 64. So if we missed out on who we wanted, Yasina would have been a pick to make, but I mean, he would have been way down the board. Fost showed up as high elite, only medium starter, 57 overall. You got Rivers, Lindros would have been all right. No doubt we made the right pick. Thank God that pick was available to us, because the rest of the options, it would have been highly unlikely that I would have taken the guy that we actually should have. Very unlikely. So let's see who's available to us now. We have Pushkarev. Sergei Pushkarev, 20 years old. High league interest, though. We also have Sergei Antropov, 19 years old, 6'5". All right, we got the defensive D-man and Oleg Leonov. At 18, Shelley, we already know how good that he is. Neil Peros is there. Marcel Therrien. We have Mikhail Sundin as a potential option. Pielmeyer will avoid. Who else do we have here? Is that it for kind of second round? What about into the third round? Is there anybody here? No? We got Safronov in goal. Cedric Horkoff as a power forward. Oh, so do we bet on the high fringe in goal? Or do we kind of look elsewhere and maybe take a risk? I don't know. I do wonder how good Sundin would be. We did just get a forward. Maybe try to get another defenseman? Who was the 20-year-old? Pushkarev was the 20-year-old. Antropov is more of a beast as far as stature goes. When in doubt, go for the 20-year-old, right? High league interest, not low or zero. But 20 years old, Sergei Pushkarev. It's him or the goalie. And I'm kind of concerned at some of the goalies' low overalls from the first round. So you know what? I'm gonna take the chance here. I'm gonna go with Pushkarev. And goddamn, was that the right choice? 70 overall, medium top 4 potential at 20 years old. Not too shabby. I'm very concerned at what I just potentially missed out on. Oh boy. So Antropov was medium elite. Here's the thing though. There was a 1-year difference between Antropov and Pushkarev. Yes, it's medium elite versus medium top 4. But what are the odds that Antropov, how soon does he make up 8 overall points, you know? He's not going to make that up in 1 year. I mean, what's the best improvement that we just saw from a player this past season? Was it, actually, in fairness, was there a +8? What was there going to be, like a +5? I feel like Pushkarev and Antropov are going to end up in a very similar spot in their career just because of the overall difference. I could be completely wrong. Antropov could end up being much better than Pushkarev. But I feel like we made, obviously, hindsight, yeah, would have been nice to end up with the medium elite over the medium top 4. But the medium top 4 is 8 overall points better. So I don't know. What do you guys think, hindsight-wise? Did we end up with the better player? How soon is the Ukrainian going to be able to make up space to catch up with the Russian defenseman that we just took? I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just trying to justify it to myself because I ended up with a slightly worse player as far as potential goes. Safronov was medium starter. I am very happy. The only way I would have been happy with Safronov is if he was elite. So that's good. Especially considering there was the medium top 4 is the defensive equivalent to medium starter, but we already have medium starters. So it's just a matter of, did I make the right choice? Obviously, hindsight-wise, can kind of skew that opinion. Let me look actually at the trade values. We ended up with 2 very solid players with our first 2 picks. I know the clock's still running, by the way. Let's see. Ooh, good value for Antropov. 62 overall at 19. And the value for Pushkarev is way down here. All right. Now, keep in mind, though, you can't always trust trade value because we know that we can have like an 18-year-old, 52 overall goalie who's never going to make it at medium elite, have tremendous value, but he never makes it. So it's just a matter of, I don't know. I feel like I should be happy with it. 8 overall points better. He, for the most part, will more than likely, he's still going to be a solid goalie, right? I feel like we did okay. Like I said, maybe I'm just trying too hard to justify it to myself, right? Let's see. Cedric Horkoff is on the board as we need to focus in again here. Well, I do need another goalie. If I keep injuries off, I actually don't. So never mind. We don't need a goalie. Who are we going to take? Who are we going to take? I don't even know. There's just that one guy up top. There's Rich Bolton. I know that we had a Wheating there. We have Harrington. Anybody else? Habshide. We have Len Ott. Lennett. Defensive D-man. And George Louis. Another goalie in Plekhanov. Boris Plekhanov. I don't know. I feel like one of these two goalies is going to be half decent, but maybe they'll be the type that has like an incredibly low overall or something. I'm actually going to go with the guy at the top here, Horkoff. I have a decent feeling. I mean, at least we have some info on him. I don't know. It's a shot in the dark, right? Pretty much. Cedric Horkoff, though, 6'4" from the Kamloops Blazers. Yeah, you know what? Let's go for Horkoff. Let's hope for the best. Jesus Christ, really? Guys, we are 3 for 3 in my opinion. Say what you want over, with Pushkarev over the other guy, but man, this has been solid. Trent Chelios somehow falls to us at 4. We get a very solid defenseman at 32, and then Horkoff. There's no way that we missed out on someone in the third round, right? We have to be fine. There's no way. Hunwick was decent at medium starter. I'm not looking at potentials and overalls unless it's to a certain player type. We definitely made the better choice than going with Bolton, which, thank God, I was actually considering getting him. Harrington was pretty bad. Take a look here. Where the hell are the other guys, man? They haven't gone yet. Plekhanov was a low elite, 67. That's not too bad. Louis was awful. Ott was also terrible. And that's that. Jesus, yeah, we made the right pick, didn't we? I kind of aim, like I said, 5 good picks out of the 7, and I'm happy. So far, so good. No doubt. Who else do we have here now? We got Taylor Lamb. Philippi Fineuf. We have Oli Nieminen? Menemenes. Who else do we got? We got Schwarz. Philip Schwarz. Alright, so another goalie in Lee. Defensive D-man and Roy Camachi. Tremendous name, Camachi. Earl Roach, he's 20. No league interest, 20 years old. Guys, I think we found our pick. Yeah, I'm not even going to look elsewhere. We found our pick. Earl Roach. There's no way the strategy will backfire this time, right? 20 years old, no league interest, here in the 4th round. Earl Roach, the Canadian, please work out. I'm all right with that. Medium top, 964 overall. That could be a good pick. It could be an awful one. I'm not sure. It depends. Like, that's a decent enough pick. It's better than Schwarz. It depends on who else was selected. Nemenes wasn't that great. Lamb wasn't that great. Is there anybody else? Fineuf wasn't good. Guys, I think we've gone 4 for 4 in this draft so far. Holy shit. Camachi, great name, but not great as far as skill. Yeah, we made the... Oh my god. Well, I only need to hit on one of these last 3 picks to consider this a good draft, in my opinion. Unless we miss out on like this tremendous player, I feel like we've done incredibly well. First pick here would be Leonov, 18. Who else do we have here? We got Saad, the 2-way. We got Emerton, 17 years old. Chad Emerton, no league interest though. Valery Fedorov, also no league interest. Anybody else here? We got another 20-year-old, Mika Koskiranta, the power forward. We're not going to go after Hill. Is this a Matt Cook? It literally is a Matt Cook, okay. Nobody take him, please. Let's just curse him because of his name. We have Darcy Weaver, who is 18. I'm leaning towards that 20-year-old, guys. Hold on. Cantor? Tony Cantor. Decent. You know what? No, we have our choice. It's the Finn. Mika Koskiranta. The 6'2" power forward at 20 years old. That strategy of 20 years old, no league interest, it's worked out tremendously well. I'm a little bit concerned that we haven't seen a grinder or an enforcer yet, but I feel like this is the right way to go. Can we make it 5 for 5? Jesus, can we? What is up with this draft? It said it was going to be a good draft. The first round didn't have too many like crazy high overalls, but it had good potentials. We're at least hitting the jackpot here, I feel like, for these middle rounds. I am very happy with all 5 picks. That could easily change if a team finds a steal here, right? That could easily change, no doubt. But I'm hoping that it won't. Actually, how good was Saad? Ooh, wow, thank God I didn't break the rule there and go for a 2-way. This has been tremendous. Wow. Jesus, 4 low elites in a row. All right. Well, we wouldn't have gone for any of them, would we? Nope, we wouldn't have gone for a single one. So I don't regret that. Fedorov was there. Weaver. Guys, hey, Matt Cook went to Ottawa. Good for him. We've hit so far on all 5 picks. No doubt about it. This is already a very solid draft. And if we get anybody here with one of these last 2 picks, I am very much content. So let's see. We have Tony Cantor, defensive D-man. No league interest at 18. I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued to see if that'll work out. Travis Bonvie. We have Mike Lindsay. Who else? George Dagenais. I don't know. Something French, man. You know me. I struggle with names. How could I not? We got a Frenchman, though. Dykos. Dickius. What else do we got? We looked at Frenchman there. We got a power forward in Sergei Nabokov, huh? Now, you know me. I always kind of aim for... Ooh, hold on, fellas. You know me. I never really take exact top 9s because I always feel like there are elites out there or maybe medium top 6. I'm looking at the greens, particularly in skating. He might only be top 9, but if he's high top 9 with good attributes, guys, I think we found our pick. There's an enforcer here in Reginald Osborne as well. Grinder. No, we found our pick. I got roasted the last time I let someone with green attributes pass me by. Sergei Nabokov, the Estonian. Please be good. Jesus Christ, yes. I mean, he's only medium top 9, but he's a 75. Holy hell. So he is already at 20 years old. He is very close to reaching like his max, overall, like of an 81, 82. Guys, this draft has been insane for us. Oh my God. Say what you want about the second round Pushkarev over the Ukrainian guy's name that I can't remember in terms of trade value. Like I said, 1 year difference, 8 overall point difference. I'm not sure how much the medium elite, medium top 4, deal will factor in. This has been our best draft yet. Top to bottom. Obviously nothing tops McDonough. But this has been our best draft top to bottom, and we couldn't have gotten this at a better time where we need to, be bringing in these elite level players. Bonvie would have been a disaster, especially with what I'm planning moving forward here. I don't really see anybody yet that I'm tremendously upset about missing out on. I see that there have been a couple of decent players. Lindsay wasn't good. Cantor was low top 4. Nothing too special there. Wow, man, this whole strategy. See, that's the thing. We've been learning. It's worth going for those 20-year-olds. Yes, they're already 20, but the potentials and the overalls have been there. And that leaves us with one more pick. And we did have this enforcer in Osborne projected here for the 7th round. He has some greens, 88 strength. Nothing too crazy, though. I don't expect his overall to be that great, but maybe he's got a decent potential. Like, even if he was medium top 9 exactly. I mean, even if he's medium bottom 6 for an enforcer, that's not bad. We have a couple of those already. We have this grinder in Raymond Long. Who else do we have? We got Phil Corvo. We got Philip Brody. Anybody else? Gunderson. Another grinder in Marvin Calder. Another power forward in Tverdovsky. Nobody was 20 though, right? I don't think so. You got Zimmerman. Another defensive D-man who we know that's not all that good. Justin Irwin is there. Still in the 7th round, by the way. Jesus. And the grinder, Alexei Anisimov. Oh, damn. 20-year-old grinder with no league interest. Or the enforcer. It comes down to the two. Oh, God. Reginald Osborne against Alexei Anisimov. Oh, God. I don't know who to pick here, guys. An enforcer, though, with high league interest. Or the 20-year-old with no league interest. It is the Goon Squad, guys. I think I have to go for the enforcer, right? It's Reginald Osborne. We could have another Big Reg. Our original Big Reg retired. We could have a brand new Big Reg. You know what? I'm doing this for Reggie. Please. You know what? This won't be a bad draft no matter what. Please, though, let's end on a high note with our new Big Reg. Oh, my God. Yes. Low elite. 56 overall. How good, though, was Anisimov? How good was he? You watch. He'll be one of those players that doesn't even get drafted, right? Who just ends up on the free agent list, which I haven't been checking the free agent list to see who's kind of snuck through the cracks. Intentionally, though, because I don't want to be taunted by players that I'm not going to sign. I'd prefer to rather never know. Although, I guess it would be interesting to see, like, if somehow, like, medium elite sneak through, but, like, if, like, a franchise snuck through the cracks or something. Because, as was talked about with McDonough, you know, that means he was in the draft. You know, you would assume he was actually in the draft for a year or two prior. I don't think the other guy is going to be drafted here. That would be tremendous for us. Well, not really. Okay, Long as a grinder was drafted. Calder was drafted. He would have been decent, actually. Anisimov. All right. Medium top 9, 64 overall. I think I would have rather ended up with the low elite enforcer, guys. I think we just pulled off one hell of a draft from top to bottom. That was very solid. Damn. And now I'm very concerned about my plans for this upcoming off season, because it could ruin a lot of this thanks to the morale system, because I plan on making a lot of moves. We just brought in some tremendous talent. What a start. That was awesome. What a draft. Again, nothing tops Frederick McDonough, but as far as the draft goes, top to bottom, I feel like we're good. And of course, as we've seen, we do have some big-time names that we need to bring back here. I'm going to give some of these guys a little bit more money than what they're asking for, but we don't have to go too crazy. Let's give Mikkel a max deal. I'm actually going to bring back Hackett if he's friends with people. He's actually not friends with anybody we have to be concerned about. So, I'm just, I don't even have to ditch him. We'll keep him for one more year. We might as well. Rather than bringing in someone who might end up being friends with like Brodeen or McDonough, and then we have to cut them later, it wouldn't make too much sense. Let's go 10 million even for McDonough. Over 4 years, that would be nice. Jake Dotchin's going to go. Again, I'm very worried about Hines because he's a UFA at the end of that deal. Alexiak is gone. Jacobs is gone. That pissed off Stefan Lapointe and Neil Green. That's not ideal now, is it? We're going to get rid of Scott Mayfield. Let's bring in Lang, who we have no choice but to sign, or we lose him. Same thing with Burnett. As far as guys who haven't signed deals yet, like Finley, I'm going to wait because I want to make sure I don't sign too many players to contracts before potentially making trades. And I do think we're going to have to make some trades here finally to make this happen. Yeah, Dalmont has to be signed. See, all of these UFAs, I'd risk potentially losing somebody if I signed Pushkarev up there to a deal, We got to sign Carter. We have to sign La Lancette. Not to mention we haven't even looked at the forwards yet. So Tom Wilson's gone. Jake Virtanen's gone. We're going to look to bring back Primo. And Flynn. A little bit worried about Flynn, man. I thought he had a good chance to develop. He kind of stalled out this year, though. Let's bring back Gillies and Beta. Is that it? Yes, it is. Left wings, Nolan Foote. Looking for $7 million. I'm petrified that he's only asking for 2 years. The one saving grace is that I'm going to have the cap space to offer a player $15 million to keep him if I have to. And I will absolutely use that to my advantage for as long as we are not in a cap situation. Tokarski's looking for 3 years. That's a bit much. Good chance I'll end up trading him, but for now, we'll just give him what he wants. Barlow as well. We should be good as far as contracts go. I don't think we're going to be pushing our luck here, really. We should be fine. We should be able to get everybody back, especially after I get rid of Stevens. Let's go ahead and see if everyone's back. I think, if my math isn't mistaken, which really I wasn't even paying attention, but we should be at the 50 contract limit. I might be wrong, but I feel like everyone should be able to sign. I didn't even look at the amount of contracts. So Hackett's back. I only care, as McDonough's signed, I only care for who's declined. I'm just assuming that everyone I sent an offer to before is going to accept, which is the case. Don't jinx it. Oh my God, it worked. It absolutely worked. I think we're good. I think we're good. Guys, this episode, something's going to happen, right? Because this has gone way too perfectly. 45 contracts. All right, so who is currently unsigned? We got 2. Oh, God. Yeah, so see, we're going to have to sort this out. I didn't realize we had so many unsigned forwards. So let's go ahead. We're not even going to worry about... Oh, no, we have to worry about the preseason. We have to. Because I don't want what happened last year at the start of the, at the start of the preseason when I was talking about potentially trading Dotchin. I don't want that to happen this year as well, where I try to get rid of people, but every team has the full 50 out of 50 contracts. That cannot happen. So while we don't know what kind of development we'll get from players between now and the start of the preseason, I have to just kind of make assumptions and get rid of the guys who we don't think are worth keeping at this point. So we're going to have McDonough, Likens, Pushkarev, Finley, Carter, and Hines. So that's our first 6. Then we have Burnett, LaLancette, Lang, Dalmont, Cowan, Rourke. And now we're getting into depth with Lettinen, Rawlings. And I think that's it, guys. Maybe Hickett's as well. But if we don't have injuries on, we don't even need them. If we don't have injuries on, it's a matter of just keeping our top 6. So we'd only need 12. I'll carry some extras just in case. Because I might turn injuries back on. I don't know. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. No, there's our 12. And then, Lettinen's going. I want to carry, say, 2 or 3 extra defensemen. I'm thinking 2, and then bring in a veteran to clear out cap space. So it makes sense to have it be Rawlings and Hickett's. Get rid of Lettinen, Solani, Ball, Galley, and Alcock. And I hate to say that we got to get rid of these 3, but we know they're not going to improve. They are kind of faces for this franchise. They were all taken in year 1, 5th, 6th, and 7th round. But we do have to prioritize winning. And for that reason, I think I have to get rid of them. So the first guy we're going to look to get rid of here is Lettinen. Now, how trading works is, again, I only do 1-for-1. The player with whatever the most valuable pick is, I can get in return 1-for-1. I don't stack prospects because then I could turn a bunch of scrubs into like a 3rd rounder. That's not how we operate with this. It's straight up 1-for-1 for the worst pick I can get. 9 times out of 10, it'll be a 7th. This time, though, for Kyle Lettinen, we were able to get an extra 6th, which is pretty nice. Occasionally, it used to be... Also, you guys enjoy squeaky chair? Hold on. Let's get this to work. There it is. There's the squeak. It's lovely. Anyway, this time out we were able to get lucky. Matty Solani is going to be the next guy to go. And we'll see if we can get a 6th. They don't want to trade it next year. Let's see. Maybe even the Bruins 5th. Are they going to be dumb enough? No, they're not. Let's see if we can get a 6th rounder. If not, we'll go back to Arizona for the 7th. No, we did get the 6th. All right. So we're going to have 2 extra 6th round picks in the draft. So rather than losing these guys for free, it at least gives us a chance. Odds are the picks are going to be terrible, right? Like the odds aren't in our favor to have these guys actually be decent picks. But there is that outside chance of finding a steal. And that's kind of like the gamble that we're making. We might, we're probably going to have to rely on a 7th round pick for Ball, Galley, and Alcock here. Can we send Kevin Ball to Arizona? Yes, we can. I'm sorry, guys. Kevin Ball is on his way out. I have to do this. I have to optimize this team. This one sucks, though. By the way, the Bruins ended up with Dougie Hamilton. That's not funny, EA. I don't want to get rid of Dalton Galley, but I have to. He's off to Boston. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. A lot of players aren't happy about it, or at least a couple of players aren't happy about it, and I understand that. He's been a rock down in the AHL. But it's having to be done. It has to be done. 7th round pick for Alcock as well. There we go. So we are going to have quite a few extra picks in the upcoming draft, which is pretty damn nice, as I said. So our defense, again, anyone who's unsigned, Pushkarev and Finley, will be signed. And we're going to bring in probably one veteran on a $15 million contract who's just going to sit there and do nothing. So for forwards, we have... Wow, we got a lot of guys we got to sign. With Chelios, I'm thinking just Chelios and Wharton get outright signed. They're both Canadian. They'd both be AHL eligible. I think it would probably be for the best to just play them at the NHL level. Even though Wharton will be a little bit lower of an overall, I'd imagine. Yeah, so see, someone like Primo might not make the team. Instead, worth it in the long run. So we have our 12 in terms of value. So then let's see who the next 12 are in terms of value. Cuts off at Guru. And wow, we have so many bottom 6 guys. Holy shit. Alright. So we have to cycle through these bottom 6 guys. Where is Maurer? Because he was the cutoff, right? Maurer was the cutoff for our first 12. Actually, I need to take a look here. So again, we'll play Wharton and Chelios. That's fine. We'll play them at the NHL level. Horkoff. Is he Canadian? God, my right bumper is like fucking broken at this point. Horkoff as well. It might be worth sending him back to junior, though. I mean, realistically, I could just sign all 3 and send them down to junior, or I could leave them unsigned. That's kind of the question, as to whether or not I leave them signed or not. We have seen some guys progress one way or another. So, the only thing I'm trying to think of here is, would Horkoff be worth signing? Because that does factor into our numbers. So let's just say we're going to play Wharton and Chelios there, but we're not going to play Horkoff at the NHL level. We'll let him stay in junior for the year. Maybe. Or at least leave the option to, right? Osborne's going to sign. I guess because he's American, but then again, he doesn't have to. Dude, this right bumper. Dude, fuck these Xbox controllers, man. Like, look, I'm fucking clicking the bumpers here. This is bullshit. Alright. Oh, man. So again, Chelios can sign. What if I leave Wharton unsigned, Horkoff unsigned, Osborne unsigned? Now I'm just trying to think who's actually worth signing. What strategy do we want to take? Of course, we've seen players who have been unsigned develop fairly well. Or do we just want to sign the best players possible and give them ice time? You know what? Let's just say we sign all 12 of them, just to keep it simple. So Maurer is the cutoff. So then we have Guru. So 2 medium bottom 6 guys make it. And then we carry 2 extras, and a veteran. So we need 4 of these medium bottom 6 guys. That's it. 2 to play, 2 depth. Sjogren obviously makes it. So he is the cutoff. So 3 of these guys here, only 3 get to stay. Wow. The rest have got to go. Wow. I'd say obviously the older one goes first. 24 years old is gone. You know, to be honest, I might just stack these for individual 7ths to not get... I might just stack these guys and get 1 7th out of the deal to not end up with a million 7th round picks. I mean, that'll just start the vicious cycle of constantly trading for 7ths. Let's see. 64 overall. Galvis is a 58. But we know he improved a little bit. 22, 68, 23, 68. I think Beta's got to go. So yeah, you know what? First guy out is going to be a coin. See if we can send him out to Calgary. We'll go 6th, even though that won't go through. No, wow, it did. Jesus, okay. Well, thank you, Calgary. That worked out. Again, I'll gladly take the extra picks. Forwards. Oh, damn. Who else goes? Who else goes? Because we know Sjogren's staying. Looking at... Tokarski's not even the highest rated guy. I'm going to get rid of Tokarski. Which sucks. But, again, this has to be done. Let's go maybe 5th rounder for Tokarski. Will that go through? No. Should be able to get a 6th, though, for him. I'd like to think. There we go. All right, Billy Tokarski got pissed off. At least a Ronson. But we did what we had to do. Let's see. So again, Sjogren stays. Just trying to think here. Process of elimination. 23 years old. Beta is on his way out. We're going to have like the majority of the 7th round here if I keep this up. But so be it. I might have actually, I probably could have gotten a 6th rounder for that. I just remembered. Oh well, it is what it is. It's not as if we're not going to have chances to get steals. 23, Chorney is gone. See if we can send him out to Colorado. Like I said, the best 1 for 1. I doubt a 5th would have gone through. I think a 6th round pick is probably the most. So, because if Tokarski wasn't going for a 5th, I don't think anyone else is going for a is going for a 5th actually. So again, 4 of these guys get to stay, is what we said, right? We know, and that was medium bottom 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That's pretty much it, isn't it? Gillies, Gabo, Galvis, Tamara, and Guru are gone. So the 70s will stay. The others are on their way out. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. But an effective way to do it. I mean, when we're talking medium bottom 6 potentials, I don't think we're going to miss out on anybody, you know, tremendously game-changing for the team to begin with. So Gabo's on his way out. I mean, someone like Gabo, he's pretty much just going to be competing with the... And here, I'll show you what I mean. I mean, he's pretty much... Nope, never mind. Fuck it. He wasn't... He might have been like a year younger than somebody, but like 2 overall points weaker. They're all pretty much the same player, right? You're not going to be getting anything too drastic. Or losing anything too drastic. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 3 trades left. Galvis, you made some good progress this past season. It's just not going to happen, though, buddy. I'm sorry. Can we get the 5th for you? No. See, yeah, it's going to have to be 6th round picks, which I'm actually going to look for next year. Actually, I wonder if a 5th round pick next year would work. That would be a game changer for us. The answer is no. We have plenty of picks in the upcoming draft. Let's go 6th round pick next year. There we go. We'll start going for picks next year just to spread the wealth a little bit. We only got, what, 2 more trades left at this point, and we got a couple of free agents to sign and a couple of players to actually outright sign. So Florida, let's go 6th round pick next year. Thank you very much. And our final player that we are getting rid of today would be Tamara. There we go. Send him off to, I don't care, LA. Works for me. Yeah, let's go 6th round pick next year as the dog sneezes. How adorable. There we go. We're down to 34 contracts. Let's go ahead. Man, sneezy dog. I don't know if that's picking up on the mic. I hope it is. It's adorable. Let's go ahead and sign everybody that we need to sign, and then we'll go out and sign those veterans to those max deals. So we're just going to sign everybody here. Every single person that's left gets a deal. We're handing out contracts like Oprah hands out cars and fridges and vacations and couches and rousing speeches, apparently, too. You can add that to the list. Who knew? Topical, Toogie. I know. I'm surprised. I think I accidentally offered Reefers like the lowest deal, and he still accepted. I'm a little bit surprised by that. So there we go. That brings us up to the perfect 45 contracts. Now we just go ahead and sign veterans. Literally 1 veteran defenseman and 1 veteran forward for 1 season to give me the freedom to call up and send down whoever I want. We set up the team, see what it looks like for next time out, and call it a day. So defense, who's a veteran at this point? Low overall veteran, Michael Del Zotto, but you're not looking for a big enough deal. John Ramage. Might have to look for someone a tad bit better, like Mark Barberio. Good old Mark Barberio. You know what? He's actually fits the bill as far as what we're looking for. Like I said, he's not going to play at all. He and his luxurious hair are just going to make, $16 million or so. Actually, $16 million works on the nose. And then our forward, I know I didn't look for, I actually just thought of that. I didn't look for the most physical player. And for that, I do apologize. That's not going to matter, though. They're not going to play. You could bring back Kurdiles, Rondberg, anybody else? Tom Wilson at this point. Dominic Turgeon. The problem with that, though, is we'd just be bringing back guys that might already have friendships, although De La Rose will not. So let's go ahead and sign De La Rose. I'm thinking about $16 million as well. And then we sim to the start of the preseason where we get a look at what kind of player progression we are going to get from our prospects. And then next year, this next episode will be the first one where we are really going to commit to the original Draft to Glory style of it's just our players moving forward. That's it. End of story. Draft to Glory truly begins as the dog is jumping all over the room. Actually, allow me to make a jump cut here. All right, we're good. It is the start of the preseason. Don't remember what the hell I was talking about, but that's fine. We all know it was just rambling anyway to get to this point in time. So again, let's see what our team looks like. I am excited for this. Oh my God. Well, the first bit of news is quite good. The former 3rd overall pick, Marcus Brodin. Where were you in the Sweden Nation United, good sir? 22 years old, now an 87 overall, Justice at a 77. We have Lapointe and Mikkola as the 1-2 combo, of course, with Matt Hackett as the 5th string goalie in case we go with injuries. McDonough's a 94, Likens an 81. Hines hasn't really recovered. We have Lang, Barberio will be sent down, and either Pushkarev or Finley will get the call-up. And I'm actually going to give it to Finley just because he's a year older, and he's in that much more need to really kind of make it, He's the one that we really have to focus on. Oh, man. And again, we have a couple of potentials here. The unfortunate thing is Junior Hickett's is one of the better players on the team, but he has a potential that we can't really focus on all that much. Same thing with Lang. 76. That's a little bit crazy. And then forward-wise, it actually didn't start. Well, it did start with De La Rose on that roster. But there we go. Wharton's a 75. So we know he's down in junior. More than likely. Let me double check. We got Primo. Who else might be down in junior? He's actually the only one, right? I think. Aside from... Actually, Osborne wouldn't even be in junior. Yeah, I think he'd be the only one. Let me see if he's actually junior eligible. I could have sworn there was another guy. Yeah, so see, Wharton would be sent down to junior. So out of these 76s, I'm sorry, but Shugren, you just lost your spot, buddy. I guess Wharton's going to make it. I could have sworn there was one other guy, though, right? Maybe he's 20 now, though. Yeah, it was Cedric Korkhoff, and he's 20 now. Perfect. All right, let's take a look at what these teams look like then, shall we? I'm actually really excited for this, because this team is looking decent, and Connor Roberts finally got better. My God. Everything's looking all right. So we could drop Downing to the... Now, as far as combos here, right? We could easily just drop Downing, call up Wharton, and go with actually Wharton at center. Could do that to give him a little bit more time. We have McDonald, Roberts, Aronson, and of course that top line of Foote, Graves, and Zanetti. It's basically set in stone. It's not too bad, though, having a 75 overall rookie be the, worst player on the team. And, of course, our defense, still worried about Hines. Lang is new. I mean, the defense in general is pretty much new. We have all lefties on this team as well. But that's not too bad. And, of course, the goaltending is decent. I'm really intrigued. this year. I will just quickly scroll through these players so you can see their ages and the potential and, of course, the overall. Let me know what line combinations you think we should run with. I have a couple of things in mind. I'm not going to bother fixing it up right now, though. But let me know what you think as far as line combos go to try and make that work. And then down in the AHL, I'm going to do the old trick here of setting lines. We'll go in the system. We'll call up Barberio and De La Rose. And then that way, they're just sitting there on the NHL roster, and if we don't activate injuries again, we're solid, and we don't even have to worry about them. So we will take out Vinio, who is somebody I could sign, in fairness, just to not have to deal with that anymore. I'm not too concerned. We'll bring in Travis Carter, and then we got the medium 7th and Hickett's. It was the plan to take him out for La Lancette. Now, as always, we could go for the best potential guys on the top line, which is probably for the best, rather than overall. And Cowan is good where he is. So there we go. I'm thinking that is that's the combos right there. And now all of a sudden we have Travis Carter and Sergei Pushkarev as the top pairing. A bit worried about Carter being 21 now. But if he makes good progression over the next 3 years, he could be a third pairing guy for us in the future. That defense, though, is looking all right. And then when it comes to forwards, I'm not even sure who's scratched. A couple of guys are scratched, actually, that I'm a little bit concerned about. So the medium bottom 6 players are the ones who are in danger here. Even Shugren and Primo. They are in danger. Arnott's going to be the first guy, though, that kind of gets the axe here. So we're going to be looking at right wings. Kozlov is not ours. There's only one guy that is ours. That's Koski Ranta and Osborne, actually, if we want to put him in the lineup. So Shugren and Primo survive. Herdina and Arnott are the ones who will not, as we make room for our actual prospects. And again, I think I'd rather go for potential on the higher lines. So Shugren and Primo will get dropped. We got medium top 9s. And the low elite there. Gustafson's the older medium top 9, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed. So we got the high top 9, the other medium top 9. And then we got a low top 6 in Barlow. Medium. We got our low elites. And let's go with 20 years old, 72. 22 and a 72. I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's go for reefers. Whatever, that works. I guess. Why not? I'm alright with that. So these Lions are basically good to go already, if I'm not mistaken. Who's the better center? Slightly better defense there for Barlow. And we got pretty much all righties here on these other lines. All righties. That is solid. So there we go. I'm thinking if we go by potential, that is the best way to do it. This team, I mean, both teams really are looking all right. I'm kind of cool with what we have set up here. You know, just certain combos, particularly at the NHL level, that could be changed. But seeing as where we are, what stage we are, you know, like just where we are for this series in general, 58 locker room chemistry at the NHL level, only a 49 at the AHL level. But I am quite happy with what this team looks like at the moment. I think we're in a good spot. Hines is actually the captain still, with McDonough and Graves as the alternate. Of course, we won't change that just because we don't want to piss off Hines, although if he leaves the team, then who the hell cares? So really the last thing we have to do with that team good to go is just take a look at what is going to be available to us in the upcoming draft. And in the top 5 right now projected, all we have is this defenseman Evan Wyman, who really at 6 foot doesn't exactly fit the bill of a Goon. Nobody does. Even the power forward Lundmark doesn't really fit the bill. We'd have Zach Yell and Zajac as well. So a defensive D-man and a couple of power forwards. Nobody too crazy. Maybe this is the right time to look for a goalie with Edwin Hood. Or, you know, the grinder Marty Dick is probably going to be the popular choice. So this would actually be the right draft, I would say, to not do all that well. Because I'm thinking it would be the grinder or the goalie as an off-the-board pick. Mainly a goaltender. I think if we're going to get a 5th goalie, the draft coming up would be the one to do it, because we're not going to miss out on anybody too crazy. So when it comes to the lottery results, I'd say we're good. We would just have to make sure that we selected the right goalie when the time arrived. What I wanted to check for, and I guess it would be easier to just look for enforcers directly. I want to see if there are going to be any enforcers that are actually projected to go in the draft, because it did just work out for us. Worked out for us in this episode alone, getting a low elite. And we do have Lawrence Tunney as an enforcer who is projected to go. What about right wings? Oh my God, a bunch of enforcers. Victor Antonio at 6'6", Gene Flaherty, Drew Fitzmaurice, Devin Craig, Clint Hamilton, and Brock Sugihara. But nobody projected to be drafted. Same for left wing. Simon Cormier at 6'6". Drew Nevins at 6'7". Good God. None of them are 20 either, are they? Yeah, let me add Evans or Nevins to the watch list here. Right wings. Yeah, none of them are 20. And then there's like rarely ever an enforcer center. So I think we're good to go. The next draft is really not that much pressure. Wait a minute. Tunney apparently has medium 6, huh? Tunney could be a decent one to pick up. Wait a minute. Did he have... Was it not completely unknown when I spotted him there? He was a defenseman, right? Let's... Oh boy. Let's look again here. Just to make sure I'm not seeing things. I will admit to being quite tired while recording this. But let's take a look. About halfway down the bar, of course. Now more into that territory. No, yeah, he just flat out just shown his medium top 6. So Lawrence Tunney will absolutely be a target. Aside from that, there's really no way of telling. Aside from, of course, knowing that a goalie is probably on the horizon. I do want to see what our team overalls look like at this point, but guys, we are at the end of this episode. A very solid episode with a great draft. The team's looking all right. What the hell do we have for ratings here? Do you not want to tell me? There we go. 83, 93, and 90. Not too bad though, huh? And there you get a nice look at Frederick McDonough. Maybe one of these times I'll play a game. I don't know. I might play a preseason game on stream or something one of these nights just to test out this team after putting up this episode, because I do want to play a game with the team at some point. Whether or not that would eventually get to be like the Stanley Cup final when we're up 5-0 in Game 4, about ready to complete the sweep, and I get to hop in for the third period. Don't know if that's ever going to happen, so I don't know. We'll see. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. As always, you know what you can do to support the video and the channel. Leave a like and subscribe. Links are in the description to my Twitter and Twitch. Looking forward to your feedback for the episode. Any suggestions moving forward. I'm really happy with where Draft to Glory is right now. That can change at the drop of a hat. So we'll see what happens moving forward. For now, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.